I'd like to start this video by stating that labels and narrowed perspectives are usually stereotypical. However, stereotypical points of view usually pertain some weight towards the truth. In essence, why would there be such a thing as a stereotype if it wasn't somewhat true? To dive deeper into what I'm discussing, let me elaborate. That even within the field of social psychology and other disciplines, different models of stereotyping exist, some with agreeable tendencies and others contradictory. However, this means that even within the field they are discussed, people hold different opinions, creating a current model of those who agree it's inherently correct and others that it is not. This would mean that stereotyping itself is actually based on half-truths, or that no actual definitive evidence exists outright to prove that stereotyping exists or does not. I mean this in the sense that does stereotyping exist outright biologically, for we all know stereotyping exists socially, as is evident with systematic symptoms such as racism, class, and culture. We have all heard of mild occurrences. Women can't drive, the sleepy Mexican, blondes are dumb, black people use guns, to comic or sometimes serious effect. However, today I would like to cover the topic of true forced loneliness, a term popularized quite recently, and how that can apply to us, people with disabilities. Now, I'm not here to dispute how offensive this term is. In fact, I care very little for it. It's just a title to contain a more elaborate meaning, like all other stereotypes. What interests me, however, is its half-truths, and how from my personal point of view, and from related material, that we've known these half-truths longer than I care to admit. It's quite sad, actually, but I'm sure I'll have to get over it. Growing up with a disability is not easy. It can and will at an early age separate you into a different caste. That is not an inherently bad thing. However, it is different and sets different social and environmental factors at a young age. This is not disputable, for disputing this claim is essentially saying, I will pretend I can walk, run and climb. However, the aches and pains I receive can just be ignored, and I'll continue to walk. Obviously, this cannot be done so easily and can lead to negative effects. You can pretend all you want, of course, at the detriment to yourself. And if you fully embody this viewpoint of positive and no negative realism, please don't drive if you don't know your limitations. You see, we live in a world where perfection is the surface rule. You see it in the news and on social media, and usually the story of people with disabilities is always a story of courage or overcoming, albeit it is for the persons involved. However, media sure likes to take the cake, perhaps even be just as courageous and overcoming for filming it. This is just one observation as to why true forced loneliness, or TFL, can apply to us, because we have never seen a disabled guy, mild or severe, have several women fawn over him. Even in the context of surface level social media and promotional pictures, for example, or a photo shoot. We don't have disabled Dan Blazarians in this world. In fact, when was the last time anyone saw a disabled person on a talk show discussing his success outside of his disability? It could happen. Probably has, but it's so rare I doubt anyone could recall such events outside of the context in which a comedian or actor has a disability and uses said disability as a tool for his or her own success, which of course I celebrate. They manage to get ahead despite their initial odds. They are not the issue. It's society's discord and the avenues we have open to us, given to us by society, which is the issue. If you didn't understand that, it just means we are limited in how we are allowed to communicate to wider society, because things once were being done, but now, however, for whatever reason have slowed or stopped. Everyone freezes now or gets a headache when disability is mentioned or brought up, hence why I started this channel, not that I claim it to make a difference, of course. Let's be frank, however, if you are watching this and you have a disability, what have been your success rates with women as a man? Did you notice early on that you didn't have a level playing field as your able-bodied peers? I'll come forward myself and say we're not totally screwed, in the sense that of course it's not impossible. People with disabilities do get married, do have sex, do enjoy the opposite gender. I've had relationships myself. However, it still stands the odds are stacked against us. Our moments of joy, elation and pleasure often are short-lived and far and few between. And it's a societal-wide issue for people who are disabled. I sometimes ponder leaving it all behind. My chances are slimmer anyway, but I'm still not totally written off. However, is what I get given, usually women with an agenda or crazy, a worthwhile investment? It's an extremely difficult thing having a relationship with a disability in this current climate we find ourselves in. Maybe it's been that way forever. We are made to look weak and find it difficult to find a platform for ourselves. Then all of a sudden, someone comes into our lives who cannot possibly understand or relate very well. Normal relationships between the able-bodied are difficult, so imagine the extra layers in ours. I certainly remember them. I've never dated a disabled woman. Perhaps that could be an answer. Well, that's what I hear from the able-bodied anyway. But then again, as a stereotype, of course I do. Well, half the time. Thank you.